Hello and welcome to Career Post. We share the stories of the women whose journey inspire others. And today, I'm joined by Mrs. Yasmin Siddiqi, the Country Director of the Asian Development Bank in Cambodia. Today, she's going to share about her journey and inspiring stories to the other women and girls in this occasion. As your family originally coming from India before moving to the UK, how did that migration story shape your identity and the ambitions in your journey until now?
Firstly, of course, having parents who migrated to the UK. My father moved in 1950 and my mother joined him in 1968. So I would say, and particularly now as I'm older, I can reflect on their pioneering spirit. So that was very important for me. Secondly, of course, growing up as a young girl, being born there and growing up as coming from a different heritage, an Eastern heritage, but in a very Western environment, I had to learn to be adaptable. Inside my home, I needed to know my traditions and cultures from my Eastern side, and of course, as soon as I stepped out of the door, it was a Western environment into which I had to adapt. So firstly, pioneering, and secondly, adaptability. Thirdly, resilience, because of course, growing up in the UK and being from a migrant family, at that time it was quite unusual. In fact, even in my class, I had a young Cambodian girl who was my friend, and we had girls and children from all across the world who were the children of migrant parents but born in the UK. So learning resilience, because of course it could be a very challenging time as well to be accepted in society when you come from a different heritage, a different ethnic origin, and you're a person of color. So those are the three areas that I learned, which have stood me in good ground throughout my life.
And as a child, what did you dream of becoming, and what inspired you along the way to become who you are today?
So what motivated me and what did I want to be? I believe if my earliest memory is, I wanted to be a train driver. So I always wanted to be something different from what the other girls wanted to be. And maybe because my mother's encouragement for us to do STEM and to think about science, I was motivated by her firstly. Then in the school I went to, and my school was a girls' school. It was really encouraging towards women and young girls into science subjects. So we actually had a club for women into science and engineering, which I was encouraged to join. And my teachers really motivated me, and that's what led me into studying engineering. What inspired me perhaps most in my formative period, in my teenage years, was seeing the terrible challenges of people in refugee camps. And in the 90s, it was a terrible time for many countries, of course, including the challenges that Cambodia was facing. And sitting in my house in London, we would see images of people from across the world, also in Africa, in the Middle East, in refugee camps. And so I was really motivated that maybe I could make a difference as well, whatever small difference, but maybe by working in an environment where I could contribute to water supply or sanitation or some form of support to those who were in much more challenging circumstances. And that's what led me into the path of studying engineering.
So as a new director of the ADB, what is your vision to supporting the country's development goal?
It's a 5-year plan on the areas that we would like to invest in with government. It's done in a consultative approach with the government, and it aligns perfectly with the pentagonal strategy. So what my goals are here are to work closely with the government, our counterparts, and to deliver on that strategy, which looks across all of the key sectors and the areas of growth, economic diversification, supporting human capital development, and leading to a prosperous Cambodia. So that's the goal I'm here to deliver on, and I'm very much looking forward to delivering it. My first 3 months here have been a tremendous experience, and in fact, I'm motivated by the people I meet daily in Cambodia because I see so much potential here, particularly in the younger generation, which I find truly inspiring.
As you know already, the climate change right now is a global challenge, and the global temperature is start to increase around 1 to 2 degrees Celsius annually, and it's really impact the farmers in Asia Pacific,
Yes.
and including Cambodia as well. So, what is the climate change, climate resilience solutions that you think it is urgent for Cambodia to adapt in order to mitigate all of those risks for women and girls?
I'm very pleased to share that ADB has a particular initiative on gender and heat stress, and we're working very hard in the rural areas as well in Cambodia to look at mitigating measures, which could include cooling stations, even include improved clothing, which can prevent heat stress being generated. But importantly, in agriculture, what we can see is that there are ways to enhance resilience. One, by having more resilient seed varieties. Number two, giving information and capacity building on looking at new varieties of cropping. We see that there are higher values of agricultural production which could come from other varieties, such as fruits, vegetables. We know cashew nut is a growing area. So ensuring that women are engaged in all of that capacity building is really important for us.
Thank you so much for sharing this important commendations. And you are also besides becoming a professional role in the ADB, you're also a mother of 3 children at the same time. So I would like to know whether you could share how could you balance between your leadership responsibility in your career and your personal and family life.
You don't need to be a perfectionist in what you do, and being good is good enough. So by putting less pressure on ourselves and not going to perfection, but being good and having the confidence in ourselves to be good will help women also free up more time. And I've been, again, encouraging a lot of the women staff in our office here that find time for yourself. We often spend so much time for everyone else that we don't have time for ourselves. But having a slot which is called me time, whether it's 1 hour on a Saturday morning when it's me time, and we let everyone know that this is my time and I will be off my phone, but I'll be doing something to reinvigorate and recharge myself because I deserve it. That phrase is really important. I deserve to say that to myself, that my time is important for me because I need to be recharged.
Do you think being a mother or being a woman is such a tough thing, or is it a thing that you think it's a burden to you or not?
Maybe I used to think about that when I was younger, when I was in my engineering class, and I have to say I'd almost started dressing and behaving like a boy because I felt it was the only way to fit in, because certainly I couldn't fit in as a girl. And maybe at that time I questioned about my gender to think, is this a privileged gender or is this a challenged gender? But once I was out of the engineering class and I was doing my job, I realized more and more, and if today I can say it, and I really give this message to a lot of the younger women who may be listening, being a woman is, I would never choose to be anything else other than a woman, to be a mother, to be a wife, to be a daughter-in-law, because what I realize is that we have so much talent within us as women. Where we're inhibited is that people may not bring out that talent and give us that safe environment to work within and to show that talent and to say, it's okay if something happened at home with my child and I was late to the office and that I worked till late at night to complete it. But if I can share that with my manager and my manager understands that, then I think you're in a safe zone and you can figure out how you want to deliver your work, recognizing that you may have other responsibilities as well. So it's about the broader environment also acknowledging and finding ways to accommodate us, because we play so many different roles. And I'm truly delighted to be a woman. I'm truly delighted to have 2 young women as my daughters, and also a son who is very understanding. and a husband who really understands and has brought out the best in me as a woman.
What are your key message to all the women and girls in Cambodia as you have been witnessing their daily life, especially for those at the rural areas? What do you want to give like the message to them?
I would say 3 main areas. One is to be yourself. Often as women, we may be different, of course, each one of us. I was different, I had different aspirations, so be confident to be different. We don't always have to follow the same mold. And sometimes as women, we're given a lot of messaging just to be not invisible, but just not to stand out. But I would say be bold and be confident in being different and being bold in being different. Number 2, find around yourself a group of champions, because you do need it. I was fortunate in ADB. I've had wonderful managers, friends, but also training from ADB, particularly focused on women to help us be women leaders. So I'm tremendously grateful to my organization. So find that group around you, a group of cheerleaders, which pushes you along and cheerleads you to say you can do it. And thirdly, I would say find time for yourself, to reflect on yourself, to reflect on your qualities, and to really cultivate those qualities, because every woman has a talent, every person has a talent. Women fear bringing that talent out because they may fear to be different. But if you have your cheerleaders and your safe zone around you, that can help you bring out that talent.
Mrs. Yasmin, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. And your journey shows how education and determination can open the doors to more opportunity for more women everywhere. And to all the women and girls in Cambodia who's watching this with us, remember that your dreams are matters and never be afraid to dream big. And thank you for watching with us.